Today we are going to be flux core welding with the Forney Easy Weld 140 FCI. This machine has 140 amp output and 120 volt input. It will run off of your standard household power as long as you have at least a 20 amp breaker. This machine is set up electrode negative because it is a flux core unit. You can run up to an 030 diameter wire, and it'll weld the thickness from 24 gauge up to a quarter with a single pass. Today we have our machine set to 6 on our bolts and 10 to our wire feed, and we are going to be running a fillet joint on our T-weld on our 10 gauge mild steel. So let's give it a shot and see what we get. When you're flux core welding, it is a lot harder to see the puddle, so you just want to make sure that you're focusing on the molten puddle behind where you're moving, and also to keep a constant speed as well as a constant movement if you're putting any kind of motion into your weld. When welding with flux core, you do get a flux coating over your weld. That's just protecting it from the atmosphere. Since we're not using a shielding gas, it's just pulling all the impurities to the surface. So you just take your chipping hammer, come through here, and we'll clean that up. Also, there is a lot of spatter when it comes to flux core welding. You can reduce the amount that sticks to the material by using a couple different chemicals. You could use a spatter spray, and to keep your nozzle clean, you can also use a nozzle gel. So I'm just going to scrape off some of that spatter from the sides here. Come in with the brush to clean it up. Alright, so those settings actually worked very well on this thickness of material. Has very nice tie-in, and it's got a nice bead profile. So when you're flux core welding, if we go to our torch here, a lot of times you're not going to use a typical standard welding nozzle. The point of a welding nozzle is to direct gas. We're not using gas here, so this is really here just to protect your other consumables, such as your diffuser and your contact tip. So that's just on there to protect those so you don't have to constantly replace them. So that's flux core welding with the Forney Easy Weld 140 FCI.